Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Austin Bats. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Austin Bats. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Let's go! Grand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Let's go! What? 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
What? 90! What? 90!
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Now, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they'll run it here. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
Looking to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
On second down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Lucky 56.
Off play action. West. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too.
Personal foul.
He may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go!
Now a handoff looking right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll set up to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They'll give to Elliott. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Elliott, and not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
4 down, 4 down. Come on.
He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Back to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do.
Ohio.
Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They'll drop the throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This quarterback now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He'll look to throw. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
What's easy to see when we review this, that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
3 down, 3 down. Here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down.
Gone, 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 gone. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Gun! Detroit! Detroit!
Off the play fake. West. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. They go to Elliott again, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 3rd down. West flushed out right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's.
Oh, now West lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Looking to throw on 2nd down. West finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking to throw. West. He's got his man on the crossing route. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. To throw on 2nd down. West eluding the pressure, and a big loss is here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. West. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates, the big tight end.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Right back to him on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The offense on third down tonight, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed this.
Back now in Austin. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Come on, let's go. What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Parks. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stick.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Motion, motion, motion.
On 1st and 10, West. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Got four down.
Throwing again. West. Oh, now West lost the football. It's out. And he's brought down all the way back in the end zone. My goodness, that's going to be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. West. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown! A great play there. 32 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now, Barney. Back's mine.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. West trying to lay one up deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. Brand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go. Brand 30.
Now they'll run on the draw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they bring their punter out there now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give him a gain of 38.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
On first down, West. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Dante Fowler in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Go ahead, baby, go, 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 go.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
53 is the mic.
Looking to throw on second down. West. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, 4 down.
Come on, let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the Colts coming out now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want. They got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the young men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Here we go.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Come on, let's go.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close